Hi, I'm Dale Botcher with AVI-SPL, and I'm here with Jim Blasingame, brought to us by Insperity. Your keynote was focused around the age of the seller and the age of the customer. Maybe you can just enlighten us all again and sort of the difference and why it's important.
Well, thanks, Dale, and of course I love being with the NSCA members this week. It's a great group of people, folks I love. I know some of your members and really enjoyed the energy that I saw here today among the engagement. So good for you guys for putting this program together and having such engaged members. The age of the seller is 10,000 years old. Yeah. It's going away. The age of the customer is about 25 years old. It's not going away. And it's doing what I call subducting the age of the seller. It's going over the top. It's pushing it down into irrelevance.
And we learned that was tectonic plates.
Tectonic plates, exactly, just like in an earthquake, right? Yes. And so that's what's happening right now. That's the reason why, if people are wondering, businesses are wondering why they're so anxious about what's happening, there's an earthquake happening right now because a 10,000-year-old business model is literally being eradicated, subducted, rendered irrelevant with a new model, which is the age of the customer. And the age of the customer, the essence of it is that the customer, where they once only owned the buying decision and the seller owned the product and the information about the product, now the seller still owns the buying decision. The customer still owns the buying decision, the seller still owns the product, but the customer at least co-owns the message, the information. And they also co-own your brand because of that. So this is disrupting the marketplace. A lot of businesses don't understand why their salespeople aren't selling more, and they think their salespeople aren't working or whatever it is, because their salespeople are still using age of the seller practices to go after customers who have age of the customer expectations.
Yeah, and I think it would be easy to look at it as the end of the world is coming kind of, through that lens. But how would you suggest people look at it as an opportunity versus, the impending gloom and doom?
Well, I think it is momentous. Yeah. And I remind people that this has never happened before. This is why I tell people, it's okay to be anxious, but don't be anxious about it being anxious, because you can work through this. It's always been better to talk to human beings, customers, about things that are human beings like high touch and the things that they care about and what excites them, what the experiences that they want. Yes. But for 10,000 years, we've been able to avoid that by talking about price, product, service, all the competitive stuff. Yes. But that's not first, that's second. You still have to do that, but it's not first. What's first is, what do they care about? Why should they care about you? What's the experience they're having with it? Do I like your values? I only want to do business with people whose values I associate with. Those are relevance things. Well, those are human being things. So the truth is, it's basically doing the things that you already know humans like. Yeah. And so you do that first, though. You have to do that first, because what's disrupting people right now is they often don't realize it. And that is that customers are ruling you in or out, based on whether you're relevant to them long before they know whether your price is right or not. Yes. And it's a paradigm shift, a true paradigm shift.
Yeah, and I think that's important as well. I think this industry and the members of this association are in the business of delivering experiences. And it's never been more relevant than it is today. And I think you summed it up nicely. You can love the industry you're in, but the way that you're going about delivering those experiences needs to change from the way you're doing it in the past. And that sort of ties into this afternoon's session that you did around
what I'd like to say about that is, it's okay to fall in love with what you do. I'm going to say it right here. It's okay to fall in love with what you do. It's not okay to fall in love with how you do it.
It's very well put. And then that led into this afternoon's discussion around implications.
The awesome power of implications.
You should never say things will come out of left field, because you can see left field.
That's right.
But how it's happened to so many businesses and in and out of our industry. And you've spent a little time focusing on the retail industry as an example, but maybe you can share a little bit around the implications.
Yeah, I use retail because that's the most dramatic example, in my opinion, in the history of the marketplace, where an entire industry has been disrupted. The legacy retailers are vacating the marketplace in a way that's never happened before. And I used that example because there were implications that they could see 5-10 years ago that they didn't see. And so by the time it hit them, it was a freight train that was already coming out of left field, which they can see. Yeah. And what I try to do when I talk about implications is helping companies see the formation of freight trains, see the implications of them. One piece over here, a trend, one piece over here, an innovation, and the other over here, the time of those two coming together. Right. All of that creates an implication, and you got multiple implications, and so 5 years from now, you can say, that's going to be a freight train in 5 years. Yeah. And it might be coming at me. So I'm going to start taking that apart and seeing how it could help affect me so I can be on the train, not get run over by the train.
Yeah, and I think that's a good segue into the importance to our members, and I'll look in the camera there too, of leveraging the association and all of the benefits and advantages of being a member to the association. We talk about, the pivot to profit around recurring revenue, the Ignite program around, the retention and acquiring new talent. So challenges that we face every day in our industry. So with the few minutes left that we have, any sort of last words of advice other than, don't fall in love with the way that you're doing it, which is a good one.
I want to talk about what you just said because this is huge. If you want to find out where those implications are being born, believe it or not, many of them are being identified, whether the speaker or the trainer or the person you're networking is, realize it. Whatever you're hearing someone say, whatever you're seeing that someone is doing or trying to teach you, you're not going to find that anywhere else other than an event like this. Please support your industry's national trade organizations. You're going to hear the best speakers. Besides me, you're going to hear a lot of great speakers, but you're going to get training. You're going to learn about things. You will learn something at an event like this that could save your life 5 years from now, literally. And this is go to your regional groups, go to your national groups, whatever your industry is. You should be going to that trade groups, conventions, conferences, because that's where you'll see the specific implications. So I talked about the retail earlier. That was a metaphorical, those are metaphorical implications. Right. You see your industry's implications at an event like this that literally could save your company. So I encourage you to do that, and I want to congratulate you and the other folks on the team for putting on a great program this week.
Well, thank you for making it such a great event, the BLC 2018. Jim Blasingame, brought to us by Insperity, and thanks for making it a great show.
Thank you, I enjoyed it very much. Yeah.